It's time for you to get up. You will win. It's time for you to reactivate your finances, your health. Are you ready to get your life? Well, this is your moment. Ready to get your life back on track? Get up. What are you doing? It's your time to reactivate. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Reactivate the Moment. I am Marques Ford here with your Reactivate the Moment piece. Listen, I need you to do me a favor. Do me a favor and like, comment, and share this video. Like, comment, and share this broadcast. We need to let everybody know what goes down on Monday nights at 8 where we reactivate. I'm so glad to have you all on tonight. So glad to have you all on. Listen, this is going to be a good one tonight, y'all. Listen, I've been thinking about this all week, and it's been really just resting in my mind. And I'm here tonight to help us get back to where we once were. I'm here tonight to help those of you that need to get back to who you were, need to get back to where you were, and need to get back to who you need to become. Get back to that thinking, that mindset, get back to that heart, the way you used to feel, get back to the thought process, get back to the grind of who you used to be and where you want to be. And here it is. I just want to leave this thought with you. Imagine who you could be. Imagine who you could be if you stop carrying the remains of who you were. I'm going to say it again. Imagine who you could be if you stopped carrying the remains of who and what you were. A lot of times we get so caught up in who we were and what we did and how we used to live that we don't even realize those things, that thinking, that mindset is what's tearing us down and is what's slowing us down. We have to get to a mindset to where we want to be greater. We want to be stronger. We want to be, in the words of Bishop Marvin Sapp, wiser than what we once were. And the way to do that is to stop carrying the remains of who you once were and what you once were. Now, I understand all of us have glory days. I understand all of us have those days where we want to live in the past. A lot of us want to live in who we used to be and what we used to do. And it speaks volumes of what we did. And no, I don't want you to discredit. And I'm not trying to discredit who you were. And thank God that you did live that kind of lifestyle. And thank God you did do those things, because if it wasn't for you be able to live and think about the past, then you want to understand and know where it is you came from, and you want to be able to understand and know where it is that you're going. And so it's a key piece. The past is a key piece in our future. The past is a key piece in our present. But what we have to do is we can't reside in the past. We can't dwell in the past. I'll put it like this. We can't use the past as a place of residence. Your past is not a place of residence. Your past is a place where you learn who you are. You learn your lesson. You learn what it is that you're supposed to be. You learn who you're supposed to be. You learn a better version of yourself. The past is not where you reside. The past is where you just learn and get a boost and get a new mindset of what it is you want to do. And so what we have to understand, imagine who you could be. Imagine who you could be. Think about it. Think about all the dreams that you have. Think about all the goals that you made. Think about everything you've written down where you said, I want to do this by age such and such and such. I want to be in this position by age such and such. I want to do these things. We've all done it. We've all had goals written down. We've all had plans written out. I mean, I remember when I was teaching school, I would ask the kids, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 months? Shoot, where do you see yourself in 5 days? And it would make them think about what it is they want to be 5 days, 5 months, 5 years from now. I will always have my mentees. If they were on here, they could tell you, I will always have my mentees to write me their 5-year goal. In 5 years, I want to accomplish this, 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 and this, because I wanted to see where their mind was thinking. I wanted to see where their head was. I wanted to see where their vision was. And what we have to realize is that when we think about those things, when we think about what we want to do, when we think about who we want to be, when we think about where we want to go, we don't contemplate the future. We like to live in the now. Growing up, you lived in the now. Growing up, you didn't think about the future. People ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Yeah, the people ask you, where do you want to go? Where do you want to live? I remember playing certain games like MASH and doing the game of who we're going to marry, where we're going to live, how much money we're going to make. I remember playing those games but not fathoming and not thinking that it could actually happen, not believing that it can actually happen. We were just kids living in the moment. But now, being an adult, now those of us that are adults, we are able to look back on our childhood, look back on our past, and be able to see the steps we made to get to where we are. Yes, some of us were able to accomplish great things. Some of us were able to meet and surpass and accomplish our goals. Some of us were able to even do things that we didn't believe that we would be able to do. Some of us were able to see the world, to get out of the United States and see other continents. But there are those of us that did not get to live that dream. There are those of you that did not get to live that reality. There are those of you that did not get to live that life. But guess what? It is not too late for you. I'm here to remind you, I'm here to encourage you and let you know it is not too late, because guess what? As long as you're still living, as long as you're still breathing, as long as you still have a sound mind, you are able to accomplish any goal still that you want. You are able to accomplish any goal that you could ever dream of. You are able to do anything, as they say, that you put your mind to. So, but here it is. The downfall of that. The downfall of that is that sometimes the reason why we're not able to accomplish certain goals, sometimes the reason why we're not able to accomplish certain things in our life is because we still want to hold on to that piece of goodness. We want to hold on to that piece of happiness that we had once before. We want to hold on to where we once were because we're not able to go forward in certain areas of our lives. So we kind of try to relive those things, and we try to retell those old stories of our childhood, those old war stories, those old accomplishment stories. But I'm here to let you know that those stories are not going to get you anything but a reaction. I'm going to say it again. Those stories are not going to get you anything but a reaction. What I mean by that is you don't want to live your life off of reactions. You don't want to live your life based off what somebody else thinks. You don't want to live your life based on how somebody else feel about what you used to do, who you used to be. You want to live your life off of progress, not reactions. Reactions are good. Reactions are cool when you're on Instagram. Reactions are cool when you're on Facebook, social media. Reactions are cool when you give somebody a surprise. Reactions are cool when you tell somebody something nice and they give you a good. That's cool and all well. But guess what? Reactions are in the moment. Reactions are not in the future. Reactions are only momentary things. They are in the now, in where you are now. You can get all types of reactions. And guess what? All reactions aren't going to propel you to where you need to be. All reactions aren't going to push you to where you need to go. All reactions are not going to give you forward progress. Because what reactions do is reactions make you feel good in the moment. Reactions make you feel a certain way in that time. But forward progress allows you to keep going despite what reactions you get. Because sometimes we don't like the reactions that we get sometimes. Sometimes we don't like the tough criticism. Sometimes we don't like the discouragement. Sometimes we can't deal with the fallout. We can't deal with the shortcomings. We can't deal with those times in our lives where things aren't happening the way we want them to. We can't deal with those times in our lives where things aren't coming to fruition and coming to plan like we needed to be. And so we get reactions from that. Not only do we get outside reactions, but we get reactions too. And my question to you tonight is, what type of reaction are you giving yourself in this moment? When you think about your past, when you think about the things that you've been through, when you think about the things that you've accomplished, when you even think about the dreams you didn't accomplish, what reaction did you give yourself? That, if you can think about it, that reaction determined the outcome of that accomplishment. That reaction determined what happens next after what happens next for the next step. That reaction determines that. For example, if you had a dream by the age of 30 to get your doctorate degree, and now you're 45 and you don't have a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, the reaction that you've given yourself after you didn't meet a certain threshold dictate, and it made it put a stamp on what your next path was going to be. So some of us got discouraged. Some of us got discouraged when we didn't get accepted into college. Some of us got discouraged when we didn't get the job we applied for. Some of us got discouraged and we began to become angry when our business plan didn't happen the way we wanted to. Some of us got discouraged when the money that we thought was going to come, or the money that we thought we were going to make, isn't making ends meet. Or even still, the money that we are making, we're still living check to check. We're not making ends meet. And it's all because of the reaction that we gave ourselves when we got that no. The reaction that we gave ourselves when we got that not yet. The reaction that we portrayed, that we pulled out, that we showed, the reaction that we gave after we got the bad news. That reaction alone, whether we realize it or not, that reaction alone determined the next steps of our future. So in other words, what I'm here to remind you and here to encourage you to do is, the next time you get a no, the next time you get a not now, the next time you get denied, just understand that instead of your reaction being discouragement, instead of your reaction being fear, instead of your reaction being frustration, you should turn all of that into a proud moment. And know that just because it's not happening now does not mean it's not going to happen. In other words, I'll put it like this, since the preacher of me got to come out. The delay is not a deny. Just because it's denied does not mean it's not going to happen ever. It's just simply delayed for the right time. Because the reason why you did not get the job, the reason why you didn't get the loan, the reason why you didn't get the car, the reason why you didn't get the house, the reason why you're still staying in an apartment, the reason why you're still working that job you don't like under the boss that you just can't stand, the reason why that relationship didn't work out, the reason why those things aren't happening, the reason why your kids are giving you all kind of craziness, all running amok and all that good stuff, is because of your reaction. Now, I know. I'm reading your mind. You say, what you mean? So you mean to tell me I can't get mad? You mean to tell me I can't get frustrated? You mean to tell me that I can't get discouraged? You mean to tell me I can't feel sad? I'm not telling you how to feel. How you feel is just simply how you feel. What I'm saying is the action that you portray from the feeling will determine it. Because guess what? You can feel sadness, but you can still put on a smile. You can feel discouragement, but you can still keep going. You can feel heartbreak, but you can still keep pushing. You can still love somebody else. So the feeling will always be there. The feeling will always be there. But the reaction is what determines the outcome. Because here it is. As a man thinketh, so is he. Or in other words, speak those things that be not as though they are. So if somebody tells you no and you walk away and say, man, I'm never going to get this, guess what? You'll never get it. If somebody tells you, I'm sorry, or you get that letter in the mail that we've all gotten before, thank you for reaching out to us. But unfortunately, after looking at your credit report, or unfortunately, after further review of your finances, or unfortunately, after further review of your assets or your grades, we can't accept you for this college scholarship. We can't accept, we can't give you a loan. We can't accept this. If your reaction is, man, I'm never going to get a loan. I'm never going to get accepted into college. Man, I'm never going to find love. I'm never going to do this. Then guess what? You'll never do it. All because of your reaction. So the reason why I asked you to imagine who you could be, the reason why I said imagine who you could be, is because when you think it in your mind, you begin to not only just see yourself in the moment, but you begin to see yourself past all of the hurt that you've been through. The reason why I say imagine who you could be, imagine what you could be doing, imagine the life you could be living, because guess what? Sometimes that imagination alone takes you into a whole nother place, and it gets you out of the rut you're in. It gets you out of, for a second, for a few minutes, for a few moments, it gets you out of the feeling that you're in, out of the frustration that you feel. That imagination takes you further than anywhere anybody can go. I love watching kids. I love watching my kids. I love watching my nephews, Trey and West. I love watching my nieces when they were growing up. I love when they have their imagination. I love to hear my kids run around talking about, hey, let's play this, let's do this, let's do that. I love when my nephews come over. I love, and my nieces when they come over. I love when I see them because they take some small toys and they make those toys take them into a whole nother world, a whole nother realm, a whole nother place. Because guess what? They're not thinking about what's going on at home. They're worried about what they're doing out there. So imagine if you just for a second turn away from your problems, turn away from your frustration, turn away from your pain, turn away from your heartache. Imagine if you did that for a few moments out of your day to be able to see yourself in the future. Our problem is we're too focused on the present that we can't even get past the future. Our problem is we're looking at here, as they say, we're looking at the forest instead of seeing the trees. Or no, we say this however it go, but you know what I mean. We can't see the trees because anyway, I don't know what to dwell on. But my point is, we're looking at the small things and not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is whenever you look around where you are, whenever you take a self-inventory of who you are, you'll be able to say to yourself, you know what? I can do better than this. I know I'm better than this. I know I'm smarter than this. I know I can do more with what I have. I know I can do more with I can do more with the little things that I've been blessed with. Why? Because I have an imagination. And as long as my imagination is running, as long as my mind is working, as long as I'm working, I'll be able to accomplish any goal I put my mind to. But here it is. When you place yourself in a position to achieve or to be able to reach a goal, focus on the little things before you get to that goal. Those little things can take you to a whole nother place. It may seem like little to you, but it's a lot when you put it to the grand scheme of things. Just like your children, just like my children. These toys may seem small to them, but when you put it in the grand scheme of things, it becomes a whole lot. I'm reminded of the movie Boss Baby, my kid's favorite movie. I kind of like it too myself, to be honest. I'm reminded of Boss Baby. Boss Baby has this. It's about this baby that can talk, and he has an older brother. But what they tend to do, from time to time, is they take themselves into a whole nother world. They imagine certain things, and they do certain things. And they imagine themselves in certain worlds and other worlds. And because they're in those other worlds, they're able to do superhuman things, certain things that they'll never be able to do in reality. But because they've allowed themselves to get out of where they are, they've allowed themselves to get out of who they're around and be able to take themselves to another world, it allows them to accomplish more. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, if you allow yourself to take yourself out of where you are, don't focus on where you are. Don't focus on what you've done. Don't focus on who you used to be. Because where you are, what you've done, and who you used to be is causing you to slow down. Because you're still carrying those things that were meant for that moment. You can't take the things you used to do into where you're going. It's like when you move into a new house, when you move into a new apartment, when you move into a new place of residence. When you start packing, the first thing you do is you sort between the stuff you taking and the stuff you're leaving. And most times the stuff that you leave or the stuff that you're not taking, you end up throwing it away. Why? Because it's not meant to go where you're going. Sometimes the stuff that you're taking with you, you kind of take a little inventory and say, should I take it? Or do I need to take? Do I need to put this with me? Do I need this to go with me on where I'm going? Because you want to make sure that the stuff that you're taking with you has something of value. Or the stuff that you're taking with you, you want to make sure that it's a necessity with where you're going. Like whenever you go into a new place of residence or whatever, a new office or whatever you want, wherever you're moving from, where you are now to something else. Of course, you're going to take some things with you that you have in your possession because you want to keep a piece of you to keep your mind sane. But our problem is that the stuff we take with us aren't meant to progress us. The stuff we take with us sometimes aren't meant to make us keep going, aren't meant to move us forward, aren't meant to make us better. Sometimes the stuff we take with us are the things that are holding us back. My question to you tonight, what are you taking with you? When you think about your future, what are you taking with you? A lot of times we need to do a reality check. A lot of times we need to do an inventory check. Because just because we're going to our future doesn't, here it is. Thank you. Just because we're going to a new future, it doesn't mean we have to take the same mindset, mind concept with us, or same mindset with us, rather. When you go into a new place, when you go into a new progression, when you're progressing in life, when you're moving forward in life, you can't take the same heart that you had 5-6 years ago. You can't go into a new relationship with the same mindset. You can't go into a new job with the same work ethic, because obviously that work ethic that you had didn't get you anywhere. Obviously, that mindset that you had, what didn't allow you to progress where you were. Obviously, that attitude that you had, it didn't allow you to make that relationship go further. You could have went further in your relationship with your friends, with your significant other. But because you had the mindset of, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to be, this is how I'm going to be, because you had that mindset, your relationship never grew. And ultimately, guess what? You never grew. Why? Because you did not change your mindset. You did not change your thinking. In order for you to progress forward, you have to change yourself here. You have to change yourself here. And I'm going to be hitting a lot of nerves tonight. You have to change how you talk. Because what you say has an effect on the people that you're speaking to. And because you feel like you are of a certain stature, because you feel like you are of a certain financial place in life, because you feel like you are a certain person, guess what? Just because you feel that way does not mean that you can speak that way. Just because you feel like you're in the upper echelon does not mean you treat people a certain way. So in order for you to progress past that, you have to watch what you say and how you say it. Because a lot of people aren't going to be able to take what you're saying and how you say it. A lot of people aren't going to be able to take that where you're going. So, hey, I don't know about you, but I'm trying to get to a place. I'm trying to get to a place where I want to be better. And in order for me to be better, I have to change. The change is one thing. It's one thing that none of us like to deal with. Change is one thing that we don't like to we don't like to walk into, to go into. Change, but guess what, y'all? Change is inevitable. The older you get, the more you have to change. And the more you change, the better off you'll be. So I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but I hope that you put yourself in the place of imagination. You're not too old to dream. You're not too far gone to dream. You can always imagine, you can always dream, you can always have a place in your mind and in your heart of where you want to be. But the best part about that is, when you put your place in that imagination, when you put your place in that dream zone, when you put your place in that dream state of mind, make sure you take a piece of that dream with you when you come back to reality. Because those little pieces of dreams can turn into a big picture that can be attainable. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle. When you see the box of a jigsaw puzzle, it tells you what the puzzle is supposed to be. It gives you a picture of the end result. It gives you a snapshot of the end result. But when you open that box, there are so many different pieces, so many different shapes and sizes, and so many different pieces that you have to figure out where the pieces go. But in order for you to get to that state, in order for you to get to that final picture, you have to take a piece and put it to another piece. In other words, in order for you to get to that final picture of where you want to be, in order for you to get to that final picture of who you want to be, you have to start with a piece. It's not too late for you to start with a piece. It's not too late for you to start with just a simple piece. It's not too late. you can still do it. You can still accomplish it. You can still obtain it. You can still reach and fulfill that snapshot of your life. All it starts with is a piece. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to keep going. Don't be afraid to keep trying, because every time you try, you're just putting another foot in front of the other. When you stop trying is when you just stand still and you're stagnant. And when you're stagnant, you're not making any progress. And if you're not making any progress, you'll never reach your future. So I hope tonight's message, imagine who you could be if you stop carrying the remains of who you are. I hope this message reaches somebody. And I hope the person that it reaches, I hope you're able to achieve every single goal that you put your mind to. I hope you're able to accomplish every dream and every goal that you set. I hope all of your dreams come to fruition. I hope and I pray that everything that you put your foot forward, towards rather, will be accomplished. Why? Because you imagine. And if you can imagine, then you can dream. And if you can dream, you can face the reality, meaning that all your dreams will become reality. Only if you allow yourself to let go of the remains of who you once were in order for you to accomplish who you need to be. Because where you are is not where you're meant to end up. So take an inventory of yourself. Take an inventory of when you go to work. Look around when you get into your job or to your office or wherever you go. When you get into school, look around your classroom, see your classmates. Walk down the hall, see your classmates, and get an idea of, you know what, I'm not going to be here much longer. Why am I not going to be here much longer? It's because there's better and more in store for me. And because I know that there's more in store for me, I believe that there's more in store for me, then I'm extremely positive that I will have a great and bright future. That is our time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me here every Monday night at 8, where we reactivate. I love you dearly. I got to give a shout out, as always, to the people, to the crew that have been rocking with me tonight. Shout out to Doris Cole. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Lakeisha. Thank you so much to Biggie, aka Patricia Lewis. What's going on? Thank you so much to Auntie Antoinette. Thank you so much to my sister April. God bless you, April Carswell, for joining. Thank you so much to Kim. Kim, I'm praying for you, praying for full health and speedy recovery for you and your family. Tell my brother, tell your husband I said what's up. Thank you so much to my big brother Bobby, my boy Bobo. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy. Listen. I gotta make a couple announcements before I go. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and share this broadcast. Go ahead and drop some likes, some hearts, and everything on this broadcast to let people know what we do right here at 8, where we reactivate. I have to send a shout out to a couple of people. I want to shout out to my sister Sierra Santana, aka Sierra Hood. I'm praying for you. She lost her mother last week, and she laid her mother to rest on Saturday. I could not be there, but I'm pretty sure she'll tune in. And I want to just give a shout out, let you know I'm praying for you. I love you and your family. Tell your father I'm praying for him as well. Her mother, Linda Hood, was a great supporter of mine. She would tune in to my broadcast all the time. She would share my broadcast all the time. And I'm going to deeply miss her. She was a great lady. I'm going to miss her. So Sierra, I love you. I'm still praying for you and your family as well. I want to give a shout out to my wife real quick. My wife, Quinay A. Ford. Listen, we have our play coming up this Friday and Saturday. What About Jesus? I wish I had the graphic, but if you go on my page, you will see it. I need you to go ahead and get your tickets tonight before they sell out. We have 2 shows. They're not sold out yet, but it will be soon. You want to get your ticket tonight. 2 shows. Friday night we start at 7 p.m. for the first show. You don't want to be there. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to get a new, greater picture of who Jesus was and who Jesus is. And if you need to be there, the information is on my page. Go to qafordproductions.com, www.qafordproductions.com, and purchase your ticket. If you need a discount code, let me know. I got you. DM me, message me, text me. I got you. All right. Also, I want to give a shout out. I was just on with them a few minutes ago. They called me out. As I tuned into their live. I popped in on them real quick. Shout out to the Queens of Empowerment. Shout out to the Queens of Empowerment. Listen, I will be with them on next Saturday, April 27th, where my wife and myself will be hosting their Queendom event. You don't want to miss it. If you want to be there, go to the We Empower Network page and go ahead and RSVP. Go ahead and make sure you have your spot there because you don't want to miss it. We're going to have a good time. We're going to host. My wife and I will be hosting. And when I tell you, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. It's a cocktail attire. We're going to cocktail attire. Forgive me. We're going to have food, drinks, and a lot of fun and a lot of surprises. Listen, we got some special announcements coming. I'm so glad to be a part of the We Empower Network. Thank you guys for allowing me to be with you all. It's coming up on a year. As a matter of fact, I think it's coming July. It'll be a year, and I'm so excited. June rather. It'll be a year, and I'm so excited. I'm glad to be a part of such a great network. Listen, you don't want to miss it. I will see you there. Hopefully, I'll see you there. We can take some pictures, videos, whatever. We're gonna have fun. I can't wait to be a part. Listen, tune in with me next week, family. Same time, same channel, right here on Reactivate the Moment. Where right here, where we reactivate at 8. Until next time, I will see you next week. Same time, same channel, right here on We Empower Network and Reactivate the Moment TV. I love you. There's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. Have a great week. Be blessed. Peace.